stayed there only a few days. All right. Look at the story here at the end. They take the water to the master, and the master servant, he tastes it, and he says, this is better than what we've been drinking. This is good stuff. And he didn't know where it came from. And he calls the groom over, and he says, most people put the good stuff out right at the beginning so everybody tastes it. And then as the party goes on, they kind of put that's kind of like if you have a yard sale, or if we had a bake sale out here and we sell all the good, we put Miss Linda's little cupcakes up front. And as the time goes on, they're selling them, people are buying them, and start putting mine up there. They're literally putting the best up front, is what they always did, but instead, they put the worst out there and put the best out later. And he's like, you pulled one on us. Now, this is good stuff. The thing is this, when Jesus does something, he doesn't do it half-heartedly. It's a full effort. Even if it is something as menial as turning water to wine. Now, I say that menial because look at all the things in Jesus' life he did. He raised Lazarus from the dead. He cleansed people from leprosy. He made the blind see, the lame walk, the deaf hear. Water to wine is not that big of a deal on the scale of things that happen. But it's just as important today as Lazarus being raised from the dead. Why? Because it shows that Jesus cares about the little things just as much as the big things. We have a lot of problems in our lives today, in our Christian lives today. We have these tendencies, and I have it, that it's something might just be a little bit too little to give to God. It's not worth His time. It's just a little concern. It's just something that's not that big of a deal. Bottom line is, every concern that we have is just as big as the big deals to God. He cares about everything. If He didn't, this miracle wouldn't be in the New Testament. It wouldn't be done if He didn't care about the little things. Christ cares about every part of our lives, no matter how big or how small. He cares about it just the same. If we could ever get that home in our prayer lives today, think about how much different our prayer lives would be. It says in the Bible we should be praying constantly. And by praying constantly, it doesn't mean that we're supposed to be going around, when I first read that, pray without ceasing, I was like, so we're supposed to walk around and be like in the halls of, I read it in college actually, walking around the halls of our home, dear Lord Jesus, trying to keep from walking into people but praying at the same time. No, it doesn't mean that, but it means that when we should be in constant communication with God. Something comes up in our day. Something comes up in our daily lives, as menial as it can be. We get, dear Lord, Jesus, help me through this. I've got, there are times I get stuff put in front of me that I don't know exactly how to figure out. I was working over here just recently. I've been building a pad for Tyler Perkins, and when I first started, I was looking at it thinking, I've moved dirt all my life, but I really don't know how to start out putting everything together on this. Because he had flags everywhere. He was telling me where doors were going to be, and I was like, what's that got to do with the building? But the more I started working it, the more I started doing it. And I actually did. I started, and I was like, Lord, just help me get this thing done and do it right. And we started working on it. Amen. We started working on it, and I started working on this pad, and the more I worked on it, the more I thought through. I knew how to do it, but I kind of needed to pray about it before I started because I just needed to get myself focused and get back to how I know how to do it. The thing is that's little things. And I started giving over to God. You know how much easier that job was and stressing about it and saying, you know what, I can't do this, it's not working right now, no. It was a lot easier to just say, you know what, Jesus, help me do this. Help me build a pad for a building. Now that sounds stupid when you say it out loud, but it's just as important to God as Jesus, help me with my finances. Help me be a better person. Help me show this person you. He wants to be in every part of our lives. That's what we take home from this story. That's what we take home from this miracle. Is Christ cares about every little thing. Wow. Now, I thought that was coming from the back. I was like, whoa, the kids are jamming. We're going to start going into a time of invitation here. And what I'm going to ask from you guys is this. Take this time of invitation and pray about everything in your life. Don't hold back. Don't say, this isn't as important enough for God, because I guarantee you it is just as important as everything else is. As our praise team comes up here, this altar is yours. If you don't want this altar, pray where you're at. I'm going to ask you to stand, sing with us, pray with us, and just take this time to take everything in your heart and give it to God.